Good morning, everybody. Stu Smith here going live. Hope you guys are doing well today and trying to stay cool. Looking at the weather, man, looks like there is a ton of this country that is under some oppressive heat today. So be smart. Have some good habits when it comes to working and training in this kind of heat. So, what are your habits that you have for the summer? It takes me a few days to realize I need to add some new habits whenever I start training like this. So if I'm training in the morning and at the end of that workout, I'm wringing out sweat from my shirt, I can feel my feet squishing with sweat in my shoes. Yeah, that is gross, but it also should tell you not only do you need to eat your normal breakfast for workout recovery, you need to add more water and you need to add electrolytes, especially if you're sweating like that. Because I tell you, a couple of times over the years before I started creating these habits, I would come home after one of those workouts, hydrate, no problem, and eat my breakfast, protein up, carb up, get ready for the next workout. That's a swim workout later in the day. And then I'm still like just laying around. I can't think well. I'm just laying on the couch, very lethargic, just tired. And I'm realized, oh man, I forgot electrolytes. And as soon as I get some electrolytes in me, 100%, whether that is through this or just added salt on your food, get a can of chicken noodle soup. Tell you that works really well for me. I have probably a dozen cans of chicken noodle soup just in case I need some. Just want to make sure I have it. But that has been very helpful, and within 5-10 minutes, 100%. So those are the kind of habits I'm talking about, and that's just some of them. So let's break this down into pre, during, and post training habits. So before I go train, I hydrate, get a little electrolytes, eat a banana. That's good carbs and electrolytes in there. Nothing too crazy. I don't like eating a lot before I work out, but I bring stuff with me. So I bring water bottles. I bring some electrolyte pouches. Bring some fruit just in case I start bonking, because we do a lot of high rep stuff in the summer, and you can lower your blood sugar real quick with that. Um, and I bring a extra shirt because nothing worse than uh, being full body sweat and getting in your car and sitting in your seat, just knowing it's just soaking up all that sweat. If you have leather seats, it's okay. You can wipe it down. But if you don't, it's gross. And, so I bring an extra pair of shorts and an extra shirt. I usually don't bring an extra pair of socks because I've only lived like 5 minutes away. So it's an easy drive. But if I had to make a longer drive, I'd probably change my socks or at least go barefoot, let my feet air out, things like that. So that's just dealing with preparing for what's to come, because when you sweat that much, you need to prepare for just the little things like an extra shirt and the big things like extra water and electrolytes. If you don't have those, your workout's probably going to be cut in half and you're going to feel like crap and could be dangerous. Now, during the workout, hydrating, trying to cool down. I got cold bottles of water in my hand. I posted today on my Instagram some pictures of us using the Cool Mitt. I don't know if you've seen the Cool Mitt, but it's an interesting piece of technology that I've been lucky enough to have been involved in its development in a very small way. I was just a guinea pig. I wasn't a developer. Um, So I know these guys. They gave me one. It's really expensive, but it's very useful. It's more. I think it'd be probably more geared towards teams, right? Whenever they're training hard, you can afford, with a team of people. Um, but it's called the Cool Mitt, and we used it today. I liked it. Definitely. I could definitely feel it. In between sets, just take a 3 minute cool break with cold water on your hands or cold, the cold packs on your hands. So that's another thing. Try to find shade, especially if you're working out outdoors, as much as you can. Sunscreen. I mean, just little things like that that can make a big difference on how you feel in secondary workouts and workouts the following day as well. Afterwards, once again, full regular nutrition, hydration. You got to add more water. And I think you should weigh yourself. Forgot about this one. You should weigh yourself um, before you start training, and then weigh yourself afterwards. With not with the same sweaty clothes on, but dry, and just see if you lost some weight. A lot of times you can lose. I usually lose 4 or 5 pounds. Whenever you're sweating profusely like that. So you got to be drinking water. Make sure that loss is a little bit less. And then if you lose up to 2% of your body weight, it starts getting dangerous and you need to resupply. Um, and the going rate is this: every pound you lose, you need to add 20 ounces of water. Saw that the other day. I'm not sure how backed that is with science, but it was in a study and they made that recommendation. So it wasn't specifically on that topic, but it was a recommendation within a study. So anyway, um, but yeah, that's what we do. Make sure you got electrolytes afterwards too, because it's going to make the difference in how you recover for the next day. Because I will tell you, if you don't get those electrolytes, you'll probably bend over, tie in your shoe, catch a stomach cramp. You'll be really susceptible to cramping if you're running or swimming. That's sometimes we see it after sweating profusely on land for an hour, hour and a half, and then we go into the pool and half the group's cramping before while they're swimming. So those are the types of things that you can prevent by just staying on top of your hydration and electrolytes. So I always say this because it's very important. Um, People die from heat stroke, so you don't want to let it go crazy, um, and not be prepared to be able to cool yourself quickly. But more importantly, or I shouldn't say more importantly, just as important, it comes down to your performance, your recovery. When you have tight muscles that are cramping and you try to do something on them, sometimes that is a recipe for pulling muscles. I've seen calf cramps turn into Achilles pulls. Anyway, those are types of things that you need to pay attention to. If you go into a workout and you've done none of those things, chances are your workout's going to be a little sucky, and it could get really bad with people getting hurt or you getting hurt, um, well beyond your performance. Um, if I missed your question, you can see it right down here. You can email me, stu@stewsmith.com. And if you stuck around this long, I appreciate it. Go to stewsmithfitness.com. Tons of articles over there, programming. You save 15% on programs like this by using the Live15 coupon code.